well, to answer your first part, you can't. It's no book you can write. It's like you don't know. You don't know. That's like I said. You just gotta work hard and love what you're doing, and then next thing you know, stuff just happened. I heard about Fridays in the comedy club. I was in the comedy club. Somebody said they doing a movie with Ice Cube and Paul Mooney, and I said, what? They doing a movie? They sitting on the porch all day, and I said, I gotta tell my agent, get me an audition. I'll cut because I was out in the comedy clubs working. I was out there every night, so I just happened to hear about this part. So I called my agent the next day. He didn't call me and say, Chris, I got this part. I had to call him and say, hey man, I want to get an audition for this part. They got me a meeting. I got an audition. I did audition, and I was auditioning for a lot of stuff because I was ready to go from the movies. Because I realized I was going to a lot of cities, and I was like, man, I gotta get a movie now. It's like timing is everything too, I said, I'm burning myself out on the road a little bit. I need to do a movie. I get a TV show or something. I always wanted to just do movies, not TV, but I was auditioning for TV and movies. I said, whatever hits, I'm going with it, And I got a call I auditioned for Fridays, and it was a good time because I was auditioning for everything. I was seasoned. I was real seasoned. I was auditioning for TV, and then I got audition for Fridays, and I nailed it. I nailed it because I was just so ready, so hungry to get something, other than being a stand-up comedian. And then I did Fridays and nailed it, and then just so happened they wanted a new comedian. And because they had, at that time, they had still Jamie Foxx back there, what's his name, Davis and Tommy Davis, and they was all real hot.
Exactly.
But they wanted some fresh face. And I was that fresh face. And then from there, Fridays became a hit, and I got Money Talks and Fifth Element and all these other movies, and Dead Presidents. I got that at the same time, because they heard about Fridays, that I was, this movie's about to come out, and I was pretty good in it. And then New Line Cinema is the same movie company. I did Rush Hour with them, and I did Money Talks and then Rush Hour, because they kept saying, yeah. And we kept asking them at the time, y'all got anything else? We ready to keep working, But none of this stuff was planned. That's my whole point. It wasn't planned. It was just like I was just working and loving what I was doing, and God was opening up doors, because it wasn't me. And then, we got the Rush Hours, and then we did, the first Rush Hour was a real big success, and then the second one, it made a whole bunch of money, and then I was so crazy enough to ask for $20 million. I said, hey, my movie made over $100 million. Tom Cruise made $100 million. He's getting $20 million. I want $20 million. I ain't doing another one. And they was like, what? I said, I want $20 million. My movie made 100 something. And they said, give it to him. So they gave me. That's how I got $20 million. I asked for it. You got to ask for it sometimes. But, once again, don't ever let money get in front of what you love, because that's when it's going to stop. Because if you keep your talent first and keep that passion, you'll always make a whole bunch of money. So that's how it happened. It wasn't planned. It just, God opened up the doors, and I think I did a little something by not giving up,
Yes, I have a question. At what point do you, as a young artist, this is my daughter, do you get an agent, or, because the savings account is gone, greater equipment, we need things, and so there's a two-part, and then when it's time to uproot and sort of go to a different area, as an artist, that may give.
When you move to LA.
Yeah,
when you move to LA.
The agent and moving, because you can only go so far where you're at.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're right.
So,
that's a good question. Yeah.
When do you?
I would say one thing. This is good. This is a great start, because you're around. You're working. You're being creative in this, and then Mr. Spires. I know he's been in this business for a while, and he knows people and stuff like that. So this is good. And if something is going on, auditions and stuff. This is always a great start, and that's how I always say, you gotta have a lot of faith, because as long as you're working, I think God would open up doors. To move to LA, I did it when I was like 22, something like that, and it was the perfect time, because that's when they was doing Def Jam, and when they was doing the Bay Area competition. I found out about it as soon as I moved out to LA, and then I got on that, and then of course I told you I got Def Jam. I would say, just keep working on everything you can do here, and just stay busy, and then I think eventually that it'll just happen. You'll be like, okay, we heard about something in LA, would you go to LA to audition for that, and this, that, and then I think you eventually get an agent. You just got to keep working, keep loving what you're doing, don't give up, and I think things will just happen. There's no plan for it, I think.
Can I ask a question? Okay. When you mentioned the Bay Area Black Comedy Competition. I wanted to enter into Tony's competition, but I knew I wasn't strong enough just yet. But at what point do you figure that you're strong enough to be in such a huge competition like the Bay Area Black? Because they come all over the place. And I got kind of like, wait a minute, Tony be having the best of the best in here. So how do you get to that point to where you say, okay, well, forget it. The best is the best, but I'm part of the best, and get out there and really do it? Because you said you fumbled, right?
No, I had a great set. It just wasn't enough time.
Wasn't enough time, okay.
And then they disqualified.
You was a semifinalist.
Right,
Semifinal,
I remember, I was there.
Yeah, I went to the second round. Yeah,
I was there.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome that part of saying, okay, well, I went over your time, and the next time you went on and won?
Well, it's no substitute for doing the work. That's why I say you gotta keep working. You gotta keep working. Even me last night. I gotta keep working to perfect it. Being a stand-up comic, and then also that'll take me over to the movies. That'll help me with the movies. So, I think when competitions and stuff like that. I had worked for 2 years in Atlanta. I was in the comedy clubs in Atlanta for a year. And then I did another year, like almost 6 months out here. And then I came, so I was kind of seasoned. I was in the clubs every night, so I knew I could do comedy competitions. Okay. So I knew I could compete with the guys, and I knew all the guys. Some of them was older from another generation. But no substitute. You gotta do the work. You gotta go. You gotta find out what's going on. You gotta stay busy. You gotta get good. Because once you get that big shot, get that audition for that TV show or for that movie, you already did the groundwork in the plays, you guys getting ready to do. And some more plays you already done. You're already seasoned. You're like, oh, this is easy. I already did the hard work. So you have to do the work. That's how you know you're ready. Because you've been in the clubs. You've been there. You know what you got to do. You got your material, So no substitute. Got to do the work.
Chris, how about punctuality? You guys, Chris told me he was coming at 4:30. Guess what time he got here? 4:30.
Yeah, that's important.
Tell them about that.
That's important, because when you're meeting with big time, producers, and you better be on time, because these guys could get anybody they want to do anything, part that they want, and so you want to just let them know you're serious, and whatever you do, even if it's in a comic club or a play, you got to be on time. It's very important because you want people to take you serious. Let's say, let them be late. And be like, hey man, I was here,
Exactly.
Because you want people to say, oh, I can depend on that person. Because especially if they're going to pay you money, they ain't going to pay you if they think you're not going to show up. So that's very important to be on time and be punctual. Yeah.
I have a question for you. First time I saw you was on Def Comedy Jam, and you had that mama joke, real high-pitched voice, and it was so unique from everybody on the planet. Where'd you get that high-pitched character from, and is it a person you grew up with knowing, or where'd it come from?
I don't know, man. It's just when I talk in a mic, my voice goes up. So I guess it's a blessing from God. Because I never noticed it until people start saying it. And, that's what, it's just, I don't do it on purpose. It just happens when my voice just goes up when I talk. I thought about something when London was talking. Study the greats. I got my Richard Pryor shirt on because this is one of my idols. He came to one of my shows in L.A. and saw me at the Pantages Theater. I sold out 4 shows. This is right after Fridays. I did a tour. So study somebody that you admire, great actresses, great actors, like Denzel and, Eddie Murphy, these guys. I grew up watching Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. So those are the guys I try to go beyond what they did because they set such a high bar. Sidney Poitier, Harry Belafonte, know your history.